What is up, ladies? It's Coach coming at you. What I wanted to create here for you, you're training for weight loss, you're eating for weight loss. I wanted to outline a lot of the misconceptions that there are in nutrition and diet, and kind of outline what is most important. So let's focus on what you can actively do today in order to start losing that weight, and what is most important. That's what this is right here. So this is like a nutritional pyramid, if you will, and what is most important. Now, down here at the bottom, this is the foundation. This is what is going to matter the most, and this takes like 60 to 80%. This is how important it is. 60 to 80% of what you do should be focusing on this part, and that's your energy balance. That's your calories in versus your calories out. All right, so you may be working out a lot. That's going to affect how much you need to be consuming. You may not be working out a lot. That's also going to affect how much you should be consuming. But keep in mind that it's always easier to eat less food than it is to train off that food. All right, so you burn, at most maybe 500 calories in an hour on the treadmill, but when we're eating, you can easily eat 500 calories within 5 or 10 minutes if you're me, right? So we got to be careful with that. So once you know exactly what you should be consuming, which we'll outline in this course, then you can start moving and focusing on the other aspects to eating for weight loss. The next one is going to be your macros. Now this is your protein, your carbs, and your fat, and to a much lesser degree, your alcohol as well. So this is where those ratios, how much protein should I be consuming, how many carbs should I be consuming, and how much fat should I be eating. This is that level. All right, so it does matter because your protein and carbs, your fat, and your alcohol, they have calories. In fact, your calories that you consume are made up of your protein, carbs, and fats. And there is a beneficial ratio for roughly most people, in general, most people. Of course, it is going to be dependent upon your body type. It is going to be dependent upon your gender, upon your age, as well as your race. But we do know that there are certain things that are better and certain things that we want to be staying more away from. When you know what the protein, carbs, and fat is, which we will help you with as we move through, then you can start focusing on your macros. And your macros are going to be your vitamins, your minerals, and your water intake. So this is important because that's great for general health, and it does help your activity. So you're training for weight loss, you're training to get stronger. These micros, these macros, and your calorie intake, all that's going to affect your ability to train at an optimal level. And this is why it's so important when we're training, and how it's kind of different than when we're not training as well. But your micros, keeping track of what we're consuming outside of those protein, carbs, and fat, and alcohol. Then we're moving into your training frequency and your timing, your timing, nutritional timing, your nutritional frequency. How many times a day should you be consuming? Should you be eating 3 times, 6 times, for example? Should you be doing intermittent fasting? Should you be eating right around your workout, before, after your workout? Should you be eating, after 6 p.m.? This is that division of the pyramid, and to a much lesser degree, it affects your weight loss or your weight gain to a much smaller degree. Then we're going to be moving into your supplements. Your supplements, of course, they matter much less. They do still affect your weight loss, but it's to a much lesser degree. So they're really just kind of help giving you the edge once we've mastered all of these different levels. Now looking at it, again, I said, 60, 70, 80% of the book should be focusing on this energy balance. Now, of course, throughout all of this, we're going to be having our behavior and our mindset that's going to affect all of this. All right, so the way that you feel about food, the way that you think of food, that's going to affect how many calories you're eating, how you feel about the food that you are consuming, what food you're going to be consuming more of, etc. So we want to make sure that our behavior and our mindset is in a positive aspect. And the reason is because we've got this accuracy to flexibility continuum, all right? And it's on this continuum. We want to be consistent with eating the right calories, eating the right foods, etc. And I say right loosely, but we've got this accuracy to flexibility continuum. And your consistency is wholly dependent upon where you are on this. And what I mean is, of course, when you track your calories to a much greater degree, you're going to be a lot more accurate. You're going to be more likely, assuming all of this is correct, you're going to be more likely to be seeing that weight loss. However, you're also going to have a lot less flexibility. Right? What I mean is, you women out there, you're taking your kids to basketball practice, baseball practice, you got to pick up your husband, you got to do the dry cleaning and the regular cleaning, you got to clean the bathrooms, you got to do all of these things, plus you got work still, right? And maybe you got a little baby at home. So your flexibility, you need that flexibility. You don't have the ability to be consistent with something that is absolutely rigid. All right, so when we understand these levels, we have more of that flexibility in order to be more consistent. So what your goal is, of course, to find where we can rely on this accuracy, flexibility continuum. Maybe your consistency is going to be right here, where you're somewhat flexible, somewhat accurate. Right? Keep in mind, when you're less accurate, it's going to be a little bit of hit and miss, but understand that it comes with that benefit of that flexibility. If that's what you need, that's where you are at. All right, so where are you? And the reason is because if we misgauge, if we're focusing over here on this very, very accurate, but we need this flexibility, what is that going to do to our weight loss gains, to our weight loss? It's going to cause lots of stress. And stress is going to be absolutely terrible for our weight loss, because then we're going to start possibly eating more because we're stressed, or we're just going to fall off the wagon because we're absolutely stressed, or maybe it's going to take a toll on our sleep, maybe it's going to take a toll on our relationships, and it's just going to be self-destructive. So what we need to do is find where on this accuracy, flexibility we can be that's good for our lives, and that's what we're going to be going for. All right, so our goal is to be as accurate as we can, with the flexibility that we need in order to be as consistent as we can. So the next video, we're going to be covering the energy balance to a much greater detail. This is going to be a nice, about a 6-part series. So check us out, GregBeitling.com. Coach out.